There are many great presidents in this world. President George Washington led the America out of the American Revolution and into the future. Franklin Delano Roosevelt brought America out of the Great Depression and into the future. But there's one president who is greater than all of them, Abraham Lincoln. And it was because he, instead of focusing on what America would become in the future, he focused on what America was at that moment. Because he focused on what America was at that moment, he was able to keep America together during the Civil War. He didn't care about what the past was for America or what the future might hold for America. He was focused on what would happen at that moment for them. Which leads into the quote, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present," said by Master Oogway and Kung Fu Panda. And to me that means you can't focus on what's behind you or what's in front of you. You can only focus on the now. And you can see this in three key ways. You can't worry about your future of yourself. It helps those you care about, and it helps family. When we look at the point of you can't worry about the future, we are brought to the point of if you worry about what the future will hold for you, you're taken out of this current moment. And if you're so focused on what the future might hold for you, you start to care less and less about what is going on now. And the character that comes to mind for this is Odysseus from the Odyssey. Odysseus was a character who worried so much about this future he would have with Penelope that he took himself out of this moment of the present that he was in, which led to hardships that he faced, and his crew suffered because of it, as well as him. And he suffered the most of it because he had to make this long, treacherous journey for 20 years just to get back to Penelope, when if he focused on himself instead of this future he might have with her, he would have been able to return home sooner and would have had that future sooner. But because he took himself out of that present moment, he suffered because of it. So if you're so worried about the future you might have, you're less focused on what you are now. And the point of it helps those you care about, we can find the moment of if you ground yourself in this present moment, your family and friends will see this as well as your community. And the character that comes to mind for this is Chiron from the Percy Jackson books by Rick Riordan. Chiron is a trainer of heroes, and he's trained heroes for centuries. But every new hero he finds, he trains them in that moment. He doesn't train them like he trained the past heroes. He doesn't worry about what the future will hold for these new heroes. He worries about the heroes they are now. And because he's so focused on this present moment with them, the other heroes feel it and start to feel that present moment too. They start to worry less about what the future will hold for them and focus more about who they are now and the training they have, which lets Chiron help this entire community of heroes stay in that present moment. And if you stay in that present moment, others will see it too, which will let them know it's okay to stay here and not worry about what the future will hold. When we look at the point of it helps family, we see this mainly in the story of Encanto, and with the two characters Mirabel and Abuela. Abuela was a character who focused so much on what the future of her family would have, while Mirabel focused on what the family had now. Abuela was worried about what the future held for the village, their gifts, who would take over the reign of her, while Mirabel focused on what the family had now to keep the village safe and to keep their gift alive. And because she was at this present moment, it helped her entire family realize that it's okay to stay in that present moment. And because of this, she helped Abuela realize the present is okay. I can be in this present moment and not worry about the future as much. And if you are present in the time you're now, you can help your family stop worrying about what the future you might have for them and let them be just with you and be in this present moment. Abraham Lincoln was one of the greatest presidents. Yes, he had the Civil War to help, but the fact that he stayed in that now moment with America. He wasn't focused on what the future would hold, he was focused on what happened at that moment. Which all ties back into the quote, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present," said by Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. And we saw this in three key ways. You can't worry about the future of yourself, it helps those you care about, and it helps family. Life is short. If you worry about what was or what will be, you take yourself out of what is now. You can't focus on that future you have. You have to stay in this present moment with those you care about. And it will help yourself, your community, and your family. So, the next time you allow yourself to take a breath, remember, it's a gift. That's why it's the present.